This is the new Opel Adam Rocks. And admittedly, I managed to get this one very dirty, but that's okay because it is billed as a slightly more rugged, edgy and grungier version to the regular Opel Adam. This one has front and rear skid plates, it also has plastic wheel arches, and it looks different from almost every angle. But at its heart it is still a city car, so I travelled to Riga in Latvia to find out just how good it is. Let's deal with the Riga part of this trip, shall we? I did think it was a bit strange for Opel to launch their new Adam Rocks in Riga. There's nothing wrong with Riga, don't get me wrong, but even if you speak with Opel, they said it wasn't usually their first choice, and I've never heard of anybody coming to a car launch in Riga, but that's precisely what Opel are intending. They're trying to break the mold here with not just the Adam and the Adam Rocks, but with all their future cars that are coming on stream as well. Another reason why they chose Riga is, as I go over a horrible bump, their roads are atrocious, and that gives us an opportunity to test out the higher ride height of the Opel Adam Rocks. This car is 15mm higher than the regular Opel Adam, and the suspension has been changed as well to match the higher ride height, so it is a much more comfortable car to drive. And that was, if any criticism that I could level at Opel's small cars like the Corsa, it is that they're sometimes too stiff, they're too harsh on bumpy roads, and we do get our fair share of those in Ireland. The whole idea of having something like an Adam and an Adam Rocks in Opel's fleet is to do something which they haven't been able to do for a very long time, and that's to appeal to a younger buyer. And younger buyers are crucial to car manufacturers. They're very difficult to market to, they're very difficult to sell to, and they don't tend to buy new cars. So Opel have had a look at what young people are doing nowadays and decided to go that direction with their cars. Young people grew up in an era of MP3, so this car doesn't have a CD player. They also buy all of their stuff online, so this car is very well connected. And they're used to endless amounts of choice no matter what they're buying, whether it's sandwiches or coffee or shoes or anything. And so they've given the very same level of detail and customization in their Opel Adam. The engine in the new Adam Rocks is a real joy. I'm getting bounced on these roads, they're awful. It is a new 1-litre 3-cylinder turbo direct injection, and it is one of the nicest 3-cylinders I've ever driven. It's also very quiet, and with this canvas roof, even when it's open, you can't hear that engine chugging along, because it doesn't chug along. It has a counter-rotating balancing shaft, and that will go over a lot of people's heads. It went over my head as well. Essentially, it's a little rod that sits at the bottom of the engine to stop it from vibrating so much. This is a common feature with 3-cylinder engines, and Opel have found a solution. The Opel Adam Rocks is a small car, that goes without saying, so you know yourself whether it suits you or not. It can be considered a 2+2 seat, very comfortable for 2 front passengers, bit cramped for people in the back, but at least you get the option of the 2 rear seats. Boot space is fairly decent without being ample or huge. Still, with all that said, it is around the same size as its competitors, Citroen's DS3 and the Fiat 500. And on the topic of competitors, it's priced pretty similarly as well. €18,995 will see you into an entry-level model. The one that I was driving with a really nice 1-litre engine with the highest brake horsepower possible comes in at just over €20,000. I know that price might seem steep, but don't forget you do get this folding canvas roof. Now, it is more for the 2 front passengers and not the rear passengers. It doesn't open all the way back, but it does at least give you open air driving, and that is something that surprisingly you get more of in Ireland than people give it credit for. A lot of people drive around with their open tops closed for some reason. We know that we get bad weather, but we don't get it all the time. It's nice to be able to let the roof down every once in a while. There are flaws to be found with almost every modern car, and the Opel Adam Rocks is no different, despite the fact that Opel have crammed in some fairly fresh technology, things like a blind spot indicator and parking sensors. Still, there were things I wasn't totally keen on, but here's the bigger picture. I say fair play to Opel, not just for stepping outside their comfort zone and making things like the Adam and Adam Rocks, but for deciding to launch the car in Riga. A wonderful city, yes, but a brave move considering just how bad the roads were. And if it can survive Riga, the Opel Adam Rocks will survive any city.